times, 4 times. Doing gang things, living super clean. That done came up. Can't control us. 1 time for the men doing cane thing. Dead fresh to the T, living super clean. 3 times for my foe that done came up. 4 times cause the man can't control us. 1 time for the men doing cane thing. Dead fresh to the T, living super clean. 3 times for my foe that done came up. 4 times cause the man can't control us. Look at you done came up now. Get it how you live, mess the game up now. Ain't messing with yoga, but get the flame up. Hey, used to be Toby, but got your name back now. I see ya, paid under pressure. 25 lighters, got them all on the dresser. If it ain't for you, ain't for you then. If you a lame or a sucker, wanna dress you then. Grown up now, bump the childish ways. Got a wife and a bunch of kids to raise. Punch a clock side hustle or a business you endure to ensure that all the bills is paid. Slow clap for your homeboy, could've turned out like your homeboy. Been on the same block, cooking up the same rock on the cell block lot with your homeboy. But no, you had vision, you had goal. Brand new you on the old time road, take care. Home where you bust your low. Black men don't cheat, screaming bump the hoe. Real men talk, real king ways. Still in captivity, but minds ain't slave. Got a little wisdom, boy, you PD grade. Giving out the knowledge on the truth these days. 1 time for the men doing cane thing. Dead fresh to the T, living super clean. 3 times for my foe that done came up. 4 times cause the man can't control up. 1 time for the men doing cane thing. Dead fresh to the T, living super clean. 3 times for my foe that done came up. 4 times cause the man can't control up. 1 time for the folk that have moved up. Even had the slow start screwed up. Used to gang bang, now homie brewed up. Had a little plan, I had them blew up. Look at you like a man right now. Dressed to the T, smelling like a grand right now. And you ain't got nothing from a handout now. Just faith and hard work gets it planned out now. You could've took a bunch of dusty rolls. The hand dealt with a bunch of cards to fold. To stay hot while the world is freezing cold. The same plot, but the story's never old. Slow clap for your kinfolk. Could've been asking what your info. Prosecutor could be trying to do you in for the 2020 twin, so you passing out the info. But no, you had purpose, you had plans. I ain't throwing nothing, I'ma say these bands won't impress y'all, don't need no fans. That ain't my God, who is that man? This real men talk, real king ways. Still in captivity, but minds ain't slave. Got a little wisdom, boy, you peep these grades. Giving out the knowledge on the stoop these days. 1 time for the men doing cane thing. Dead fresh to the T, living super clean. 3 times for my foe that done came up. 4 times cause the man can't control up. 1 time for the men doing cane thing. Dead fresh to the T, living super clean. 3 times for my foe that done came up. 4 times cause the man can't control up. Yeah, real man. Sheesh. Yeah, doing cane things. Living super clean. That done came up.
1 time for my king doing king things. Mom these hoes cause he know he got a good thing. I submit and I cook and I clean and I never hold back on that wop, I'ma let it rain. Made me honest, I got a ring. All praises to the most high, let it sing. A real man able, sister never came. And I ain't going nowhere, this is not a game. Look at you, girl, you lonely right now. Settling for bums instead of men the most high. He provide and protect so he get our respect. And he leading us aboard when them chariots fly. I don't really think you hear me though. You can't cross this bridge on some billy goats. Let them save you in the end like a Seminole. BS help me, shout it, let the silly go.
1 time for the men doing cane thing. Dead fresh to the T, living super clean. 3 times for my foe that done came up. 4 times cause the man can't control up. 1 time for the men doing cane thing. Dead fresh to the T, living super clean. 3 times for my foe that done came up. 4 times cause the man can't control up. Doing cane things. Living super clean. That done came up.
1 time for my king doing king things. Mom these hoes cause he know he got a good thing.
Tune in to Why Boaz Don't Want Your Ass with your host, Miss Mono.
Shalom and shalom, sisters and cousins, and praise the Lord saints. It's your favorite housewife, Miss Mono.
Every Thursday from 8 to 10 p.m. live on YouTube at Miss Mono's World and Monologue Magad. Now also available on Messiah TV on Roku and Fire Stick. Why Boaz Don't Want Your Ass. Don't miss it, sisters and cousins.
Let them save you in the end like a Seminole. BS help me, shout it, let the silly go.
1 time for the men doing cane thing. Dead fresh to the T, living.
and shalom, sisters and cousins, and praise the Lord, saints. It's your favorite housewife, Miss Mono. Shalom to you all. Shalom, Yanika. Sorry, I'm reading things backwards today. All praises to the Most High for all of y'all being here. The wonderfulest husband in Israel, everybody, Monologue Magad. He's not staying here with me tonight. He has somewhere else to go. I am sad. Where's my sad sound? I'm sad. That's not the sad sound, but that's the one I found. King Connect, Shalom and Shalom. Yeah, that's the one I was looking for. I couldn't find it. Okay. Thank you. All right. Shalom and Shalom to everybody on the TikTok. Thank you for joining me. Everybody on YouTube, Facebook, wherever in this whole wide internet you find yourself joining me from. Sister Delta, Shalom and Shalom. Wherever you find yourself joining me from, I want to thank you. You could be anywhere on the worldwide internet, but you are here with me, and I appreciate that. I want to thank you so much for hanging out with me tonight. So the main topic on Why Boaz Don't Want Your Ass tonight is going to be City Girls Down Bad. That's just the title I gave it. But if you follow me on Facebook, then you see that I have been very upset about the behavior of Black wives. Okay, we're talking about women who are supposed to be wives and mothers. Okay, because we are going to talk about Kirk Franklin's mother. Okay, I know we're not supposed to talk about people's mama, but we're going to talk about her. We're supposed to be wives and mothers, right? And our behavior this week has just been deplorable. So we definitely are going to talk about that. Yamaya, Shalom and Shalom, sis. Thank you for joining me. So just to keep y'all updated on what we have going on here at the House of Mono, Tuesdays at 8 p.m. Talk About It Tuesdays with Mono and Pastor Kendall. Thursdays at 9 a.m. Bible study, Spirit-Filled Israel. Please be sure you go and follow Spirit-Filled Israel on your social media platforms. Please forgive them for this morning, you guys. We are talking about men who are husbands and providers of their homes. So sometimes they get caught up in work and everything else. So please forgive them for this morning. They will be back with y'all on Tuesday. And I'm trying to get to Mr. Monologue to take some time to come and do Sabbath Night Live with me tomorrow. So, you know, he hasn't given me an answer yet, which is totally understandable. He's a very hardworking man. But maybe if y'all, you know, send him a little message, leave a comment, or something on like the new visuals that have been uploaded. Well, it's not a visual. I'm sorry. Let me scratch that. It's not a visual. It's just the song with the album cover. Okay. I'm sorry. But if you go to @MonologueMagad, YouTube, Facebook, IG, leave him a little message like, hey, we miss you on Sabbath Night Live. You know what I'm saying? Try to get him to come on here with me and do a little something. And allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is Miss Mono. You can follow my content at Miss Mono's World. Facebook, Instagram, IG, TikTok, YouTube sometimes. I'm not so much focused on the YouTube right now because we are trying to build up the Monologue Magad YouTube. We are like 200 something subscribers away from being able to monetize. So please tell your sisters, your friends, your mamas, your cousins, your aunties to subscribe to Monologue Magad on YouTube. Okay, tell everybody. Tell the cousins. Tell everybody. Okay, so let's get into this. And I want to say, Yanika, all praises. Thank you, sis. I want to say this before we start, right? Because, you know, people get touchy when you talk about celebrities. And I know this, some of y'all might be new here. So you may not be familiar with, you know, the point of the show, the viewpoints, or why I'm even bringing this up. Okay. So let me just say this. The use of these celebrity stories are not to personally gossip or talk about the people, okay? I'm discussing the behavior, and we are using that to reflect on our level of biblical integrity, how we're walking through the Bible as women, okay? So that is why I'm pointing out these stories. It just so happens that this is readily available information, okay? And real life examples, because I feel like a lot of time when people teach, they sometimes may not focus on the practicality of the lesson that they are trying to get through. So, sometimes it helps to have a living example of what you should and should not do. You know what I'm saying? Please feel free to hop into the chat. If you like what you are hearing here, or you would just like to contribute to what is going on here at the House of Mono, $ the House of Mono, $1 or $2 will do. We thank you for those of you who have given to Spirit-filled Israel and the House of Mono. We thank you so much in advance for those of you who are going to. Okay? All right. So, our first topic of discussion. And I'm not gonna lie, I didn't watch the little Kirk Franklin movie or whatever. I'm not a fan of Kirk Franklin. I'm not a fan of effeminate men. That's just real talk. I'm sorry. I'm not a fan of effeminate men. And I cannot, and I know some of y'all might be like, oh, how can you say that? But I'm gonna say that I can't get behind an effeminate man calling himself preaching the gospel. I can't do it. So, no, I'm not a Kirk Franklin fan, okay? So I'm not watching the whole thing. I really don't care. But what we're here to talk about is the fact that his mother apparently was lying to him about who his father has been all of his life. And come to find out, it's like somebody he knows, who he's been around, okay? And so let's talk about this, because we've been seeing lately a few states have been coming up with legislation dealing with paternity fraud, dealing with women who have been lying about men being the fathers of their children and collecting child support, okay? And I mean, of course, that's an issue, but just as a mother, and as a mother who's made some mistakes, okay? This is my third marriage, all right? So as a mother who's made some mistakes and who has had to have these hard conversations with my children, I don't get the point of lying. Especially to your kid. Because at the end of the day, at least for me, I want my kids to always be able to say, no, my mother wouldn't lie to me. I want them to know that no matter what anybody says, or no matter what happens, what their mother told them was 100% the rock solid truth. Okay? And I talk about this all the time. But unfortunately, because we get so selfish, and yes, I'm going to say that it's selfish. We get so selfish. We get so prideful for some reason. That we will deny our children the privilege of honesty and truth in their life. Because we're so embarrassed and we're so worried about people looking down on us or whatever the case may be. I don't know. Especially when it comes to your children. Like lying to them about who their parents are. Shout out to everybody on TikTok. Please feel free to leave comments and join the conversation. Like, share, subscribe if you're everywhere else. But I don't get the point of lying to your kids. Because here's what I've known in my 42 years of living. Literally, whatever you do in the dark is going to come to the light. It's going to happen. It is inevitable. No matter how long you lie, no matter how many people you get in on the lie, the truth is going to come out. Especially when you're dealing with your child, who you would think is naturally going to start asking questions about their other parent. I mean, I'm just going to say, for me, because of how I grew up and the situations that I went through in my life, okay, I have always been very staunch about being honest with my children. Love you. Be safe, honey. Being honest with my children, and especially my daughters. Especially my daughters. I never wanted my daughters to have to hear the truth about my life from someone else, right? Because they're not going to tell it, right? Okay? And I want them to hear it from me. And I take this honesty throughout my whole family. There's nothing you can tell my husband about me that he does not already know, as long as it's the truth, okay? I'm not responsible for lies. But there's no truth about me that you're going to tell my husband or my daughters that they don't already know. And at a certain point, my sons, I mean, they're only 7 and 5, but when they start asking questions, I don't lie to them about anything. I break it down to a place where they can understand it at their age. But I don't lie. Why? The person that you are given charge over, right? When you give birth to this child, like, you're responsible for their life. It's supposed to be your goal to guide them the best way that you know how. I'm not sure where lying comes into that at any point in time. Our Father God has never lied to us. Never lied to us, not once. But for some reason, we feel like it's okay. And I'm gonna be honest with you, because I'm talking to everybody here, but especially for us proclaiming to be women of God, godly women, preachers and prophetesses and evangelists and everything else. You can't tell me the truth about nothing if you're lying to your children. And so now what you have is a bunch of adults who are look at Kirk Franklin. This man is over emotional, overly sensitive, and I'm sorry, it's just the truth, okay? It's just the truth. It's too much. And then when you sit back and look at everything that's happened, like this stuff about his mother lying and how she took him through this stuff all his life, you kind of can be like, oh yeah, I understand why he's that way. So, but why wouldn't you want to give your kids a chance to grow up as healthy and as whole as they possibly can? I don't understand that. And I don't understand what any mother gets from lying to their child about who their father is. I just don't get it. It's like I said, the truth is going to come out. Even if you and the father get married when the baby is young and you trying to play this off like, oh yeah, this your dad. You don't think that they're going to notice things are different, especially when you start having you don't think they're going to look around and be like, body looks the same except for me. Like, you don't think things are going to start lining up and going off and causing questions? So I just want to encourage y'all, listen, I know it's not always easy. I know it gets hard, but please, like, and for those of you who are still, you don't have kids, you're still living your life or whatever, don't do anything that you're going to be ashamed to tell your future children about. How about that? This way you don't have to worry about lying. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. Okay, so the next thing we're going to talk about here is the whole Jeannie Mai and Jeezy situation. Trapper Ty, as I found out Black Twitter was calling them, which is hilarious, right? And I don't know how many of y'all remember this. It was a while ago. And I'm not on my laptop, so I couldn't load the clip. But a while ago, years ago, when Tamar was on The View, okay? Jeannie Mai sat there and said that black men are only good for side meat, that a black man could never be her main course because white men make her happy. That's what she said. Now, for those of you who don't know the backstory, she was married to a white man, but she did not want any children, and he did. And this was the reason that she gave for divorce and said white man. Okay. So, they get divorced or whatever, and years later, here she is with Jeezy, and they had a baby, right? So if you get on national television for years and you are crying to a nation full of women, and you are crying about how you don't want to have a child, but your husband does, and you're so sad that your marriage has to end over this, but this is just a decision that you had to make for your life, then to turn around and go in the total opposite direction. And now this. And let me say this too. Wait, he called her trash too? Was this before or after? Was this recent or is this before? Let me just say, like, she took a total 180, right? Went from a white man to a black man to I don't want kids to having a kid. And from the reports, it's not about any kind of infidelity. He wasn't beating on her. It wasn't no kind of abuse that they're saying is the reason for the divorce. They're just stating like cultural differences. Like her mother has been living with them the whole time. Her brother is living there. Like her family is coming and he's not cool with that. The way that she wanted to raise their baby, they're not cool with some, he's not cool with some of the ways that she wanted to raise her child. Her first husband, he said he left trash for treasure. Wow. Well, since that was a comment that was said, there was also a report that she said herself that she has an attitude that she expected him to put in check. Like, she knows that there are some things about her that are just out of line, but she expected Jeezy to put them in check. Okay? And so there are a couple different issues that we need to deal with here, right? Especially from someone who has said, oh, all black men are is good for snacks. For you to then turn around and say, I expected this black man to put me in check. How backwards, mixed up, hypocritical, oxymoronic is your thinking? For you to say, I've never been happy with black men, right? Then you're going to get with a black man and expect him to do what? Because if you, let me put myself in this situation, okay? And I'm going to just be honest with y'all. I've never been attracted to white men. It's not a thing. And see, this is what I don't like. I don't like even when black women date a black man or two or three and they feel like they had a horrible experience or they weren't happy, and now all of a sudden it's, I don't like all black men. And see, but you see the result of these kind of garbage generalizations, because now here she is with a foot in her mouth and a whole black baby, okay? But so I've never been attracted to white men. Never. I never have. Okay? It's not about, oh, one treated me bad or I had a bad experience with this one or a bad experience with that one. No, I just never, even before coming into the truth of the Bible, knowing that I'm an Israelite, like even before all of that, I've just never been attracted to white men. Raw chicken. I don't like raw chicken. Salmonella kills, okay? Never been attracted to white men. But what I can't imagine though, I can't imagine a black man sitting on television talking about how he can't stand lighter skinned black women and they get on his nerves and these light skins this and these light skins that, and then I'm gonna turn around and lay up with him. When I'm the very definition of what you said you don't like. Okay? And so let's think about this. Now, you just said you don't like light-skinned women. You can't stand light-skinned women. They don't make you happy. But then you get with me, a light-skinned woman, And now you want to get divorced because I didn't put your attitude in check? Because I didn't change your mind about all light-skinned women? That's not my job. And see, I don't like this way. I don't like the potential position that her attitude in this situation could have put him in. Because what if he did call himself trying to correct her attitude and trying to work with her through her attitude? I can tell you from personal experience that is not easy, and it can get messy. Okay, sidebar, and I talk to y'all about this all the time, but my husband had to deal with my attitude when I first got married. My mouth was off the freaking chain. You hear me? Off the chain. No filter. Because I didn't know better. Okay? But here we are 9 years later. And yes, my man checked my attitude. He absolutely did. My man got my attitude in line. But what he did not have to deal with was the underlying knowledge that I already had these messed up assumptions about him because he's black. Okay? Anytime a woman of any color comes with anti-black man talk, you already know they on some BS. You already know the first thing they're going to say is, oh, they're aggressive, just like freaking Kenya Moore. That is her first defense when a black man says something she don't like. Why are you being so aggressive? Okay? So we already know you think this about him. And let's keep it funky, okay? This is an Asian woman. Let's not act like white-skinned women do not weaponize the police against black men. So how would you want him to check your attitude when he knows at any second, if you pick up that phone and dial 911, he could end up dead or in jail or worse? How exactly would you expect him to maneuver in that situation? It's like you went to the hair salon and told the hairstylist everything you don't want done and didn't get mad because they didn't do the things that you said you don't want done. You're double talking. You're talking out the side of your neck. Okay? It's just like, and I'm going to go ahead and say it, it's just like these people crying, defund the police, but then when something happens, they want the police to come and be the police. You can't have it both ways. You cannot have it both ways. And for my sisters, I would not feel comfortable in a situation with a man of a white race. I wouldn't. Okay? Because at any given moment, he can cash in his white card. He can cash that in at any time. And nobody's going to say anything to him. I don't know why we don't realize in 2023 that racism is very much alive and well. And a lot of things that we as black people have to realize is these people out here fetishize us. Some of them do not look at us as humans, and we know this. They don't look at us as equals. They don't feel like we are intellectually capable, emotionally capable, mentally as capable as them. Sure, they'll lay with you. They may even have a baby with you because everybody wants our dominant genes. And there's a whole movement now of white women purposely having babies with black men because they want their children to be able to stand out in the sun and not get skin cancer. Okay, I know I'm tripping. I'm just making it up. Let's get to the comments. I even heard some black women say they wish their mother married a white man. See, this is what I'm talking. Why? The only reason I could see somebody saying something like that is because of their hair. You know, because of some but that's even anti-blackness that we have learned. My hair get on my nerves sometimes. Yes, I wish it grew down instead of out. But no, I'm never trading in my blackness. Northern Kingdom, Southern Kingdom, wherever, I'm not trading in my blackness. Okay, I don't care. I like being it. I like being black. Everything about it. I don't care how bad my relationships were with black men. I'll never go to the other side. Never. Because see, and here's the thing. Like, yes, you go through stuff. You're going to go through things with anybody, okay? If you take a white girl who's only dated white men, she's going to have horror stories about dating white men. So going to white men does not mean that, oh, I'm never going to have any relationship problems and everything's going to be smooth. It is about the person you choose, the content of their character, okay? And don't get me wrong. Physical attraction is very important, okay? I've never been one of them people that been like, looks don't matter. That's not true, baby. You can't scare me when I wake up in the morning. I shouldn't have to brace myself to open my eyes. You know what I'm saying? It shouldn't be like, oh, shoot, let me, hold on. And I got to get myself together and come back and look at, I can't do that. And I never wanted to have ugly children. So I'm sorry. I may not, probably shouldn't say that. Y'all see my husband? Yes, I care about looks. I do. He did, and she said in an interview, who do he think he is? Exactly. Who do he think he on the interview for other people to hear, she said that's even crazier. No lie, no shade. I'll date a light-skinned man before I date a round. Can we stop all the light-skin slander, please? Okay, enough of the light-skin slander. I can't take y'all. And Boo, yeah, it's definitely Boo Kenya. She's so anti-black men. It's not even funny. Shaka boom, shalom and shalom, sis. Thank you for joining me. Let's see. Okay, it's still alive and it ain't going nowhere. It's not. I was just talking to my teenager today about how they've divided up the schools where we live. And where we live, you get school choice. Okay, you can send your child to any school in the county. But the way that they have it zoned is very interesting. You know, all the black kids go to certain schools, the white kids go to these certain schools. You know, it's crazy. But yes, 2023, and it's still happening. I just don't want the fried chicken calling me out my name. I'll fry his ass. See, do y'all remember when there was a quote from Holly Berry going around where she was saying, I hate having to pay child support to a man that has called me a nigga? You can't tell me that when the stuff hit the fan that they don't go there. Because that's just what you do in an argument. You go low. I mean, unless you're dealing with certain type of people. Like, and I'm not saying I'm perfect, but I don't think my husband would have any qualms with agreeing with the fact that I do not personally attack in arguments. I avoid name calling. I avoid personally attacking the person. Like if me and my husband are disagreeing about where to go for dinner, I'm not gonna say, oh, you're stupid. That, you know, I'm not gonna do all that. I'm gonna just be like, no, I don't want to go there. And we can disagree about it. I'm not gonna call you stupid. I'm not gonna say you have horrible taste in food. I'm not gonna personally attack you. I just don't want to go to that freaking restaurant. So, because you have some people who do go low in arguments, especially on a bad day, you know how it is being married. If you've been married any length of time, you know some days you just looking for a reason. Like, please let him look at me wrong. I'm going off. Okay? So, same thing on the opposite end. Like, you know it's gonna come out eventually. He can call you a monkey, a jigaboo, a house Negro, something like that. Because the pale folks spend that money, let you talk to them crazy and let them do what they want. That's why I stay with what I know. Mikal, shalom and shalom. Thank you for joining me, sis. I went to the other side, had a baby, and it was the worst experience I've had today. And I'm so, so sorry. I know your testimony, and I'm so sorry again. Like, I can't imagine what you went through. That is horrible. Maya said, I've dated ugly guys. Hey, I'm not saying, look, I used to not date short guys back before in my previous life. I used to not date short guys, but then I was like, you know what? As long as he's tall when he stands on his wallet, that is fine. So, beauty's in the eye of the beholder. What's ugly to me might not be ugly to you. And as long as he can treat you so good that the ugly don't matter. Okay? So please. I had to say my ex was ugly, but he was cute to me. Right. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Exactly. At your Maya. It's okay. Oh my goodness. So yeah. Oh, right. This is why Mono's song Hate Us So Much is important. That is absolutely right. Right. And that's what we do, right? We do. We tear ourselves down. In the colorism discussion and everything else, like, we will find a way to even subliminally pick at each other. And we have to stop doing that, because if we don't get each other's backs, then no one else. The ugly matter. The ugly does matter. It does, okay? But, let me say this. Sometimes, right, we can't help our attitudes. Especially those of us who have grown up with single mothers, without a male figure in the home. You just don't know how to treat a man. Okay, if we're honest with each other, when you grow up with a single mom, you don't know how to treat a man. You don't learn. There's no man in the house for you to have to accommodate. There's no man in the house for you to have to see your mom interacting with, to see how she deals with him. Right? And if I'm lying, you guys on the TikTok, let me know. But, like, if you don't see it done, like, it's one thing to hear about what a man wants, right? Because any woman will tell you, oh, as long as you sex him real good and feed him real good, then, he'll stay with you forever. But that's not true. That's not true. There have been men, ladies, please feel free to chime in. You did all that you could do. You pulled out the bag of tricks. You went on Google and looked for some new stuff to try to do. You tried to cook all these recipes. You tried to find out what his favorite thing is that his mama cooked. And you tried all that stuff. And you still got left. You still got cheated on, whatever the case may be. Okay, so it's not about, there are some things that you just have to see to learn. So it's not about going into the marriage with a less than stellar attitude. Okay, because again, I came into my marriage with a very less than stellar attitude. Okay, but what it's about is being willing to change. Just like when you get into a relationship with the Most High, you can come and say you're sorry, but if you're not willing to do a full 180, repent and change your ways, then your sorry is trash, okay? And so you can come into this marriage with this less than stellar attitude, but if you refuse to change that attitude after a while, then being married to you is trash. After you are with not even after you're with a person for so long, when you like a person, love a person, you want this person to be happy and you want them to be happy around you. Okay? And again, I'm very, very blessed in the area of my marriage because my husband takes personal pride in being an example. Like he loves that he is that for me. And he is. He grew up in a 2-parent home. He saw 2 parents in love. He knows what that looks like. He knows what that is to be a man guiding a woman to better. I mean, because that's the goal of marriage, for your man to guide you to better and for you to support him to better. Okay? But so with that, with my husband putting forth so much effort, and ladies, this is why I be on y'all about not pursuing these men. With my husband putting in so much effort into the relationship, into our marriage, I would have been a fool to not be willing to change and get my stuff together. We was just talking about this today because I just had a conversation with an old friend from school, and her life is totally different from mine, to the point where I kind of felt bad telling her about my life. Okay. And I just had to thank God, because I'm like, what if this man hadn't married me? And what if I wouldn't have got my stuff together? Like, oh my goodness. So I understand the first step to getting help is acknowledging you have a problem. Okay. So if you can't even acknowledge that your attitude might need some work, then you probably shouldn't have no business getting married. And I'm going to tell you right now, even if you think you're the most kindest, sweetest, and all your friends talk about how sweet you are and how loving you are and how great you are, baby, let me tell you that marriage is coming to test every good thing that you ever thought about yourself. And so I strongly encourage some of y'all to think 3, 4, and 5, and 6 times about whether you're ready to take this on. Because a real man, there's no escaping. And that's what you want, though. Like, you want a real man. You say y'all want a solid man, a stable man, a man that's going to provide, that's going to stay, that's going to protect you, that's going to be strong. You say you want all of this. But I'm here to tell you that a man that is providing all of this for you is not coming to accept the least that you have to offer. It's easy to be nice to your friends. It's easy to be nice to people at work. It's easy to be nice to people at church, because when you get tired of them, baby, you can go home, close your door, put your phone on do not disturb, and you do not have to deal with them until your appointed time the next day. But ma'am, sis, cousin, when you are married, there is no do not disturb. There is no closed. There ain't none of that. You coming home and he gonna be sitting there waiting on you. And guess what? You sitting there waiting on him too. So this is what I'm saying to y'all. If you know that you're not willing to conform to your husband, or even if you don't have a husband in mind right now, if you know that you're not willing to be malleable, be flexible for the man in your life, then you need to reconsider if you need a man in your life. If you really want a man in your life. Some of y'all don't really want a man. You just like the idea of having someone around to take out the trash and pump your gas if he does that. Because some of y'all don't make them do what they supposed to do. And so, yeah. My attitude needed much work. I stayed single and celibate for 4 years. I had several mirror moments. I did not like what I saw, so I fixed it. All praises to the Most High. And that's what we have to do. Like, that's what we have to do. I don't understand. Listen. A lot of y'all take that attitude into dating, and you wonder why it won't work. Okay. And here's what I'm not telling you to do. I'm not telling you to fake it till you make it. I'm not telling you to be nice and kind and gentle until you get to the altar and then rip your mask off. I'm not telling you that. What I'm telling you is take the mask off now, work on your real face, so that when the opportunity comes for you to be married, you are ready to do so. It's not about waiting until the man is in your face. I'm going to tell you right now, you can't wait until you're dating to try to prepare yourself for marriage. It's like coming to the party and trying to get dressed at the party. It's too late. We done seen you looking raggedy and we don't want you here. Same thing with the person that you're dating. And know why we feel, and you know, I don't want to say it's just a woman thing, but since I'm a woman and that's who I talk to, y'all know I say this all the time. I don't know how men think. I can only answer for women. So I don't know why we feel like we can show up raggedy and expect Prince Charming to take us and help us find our glass slippers. No, ma'am, sis cousin. You should come with a glass slipper on already. Okay? You should. You should come willing and able to do the work. Nobody wants to do the work that it takes for marriage. Okay, another couple that we just found out broke up this week. Tiana Taylor and Amon Shepard, however you say his name. But I feel like that is a wild situation. Because come to find out, they were inviting other people into their bedroom. And what do you expect to happen? What do you expect to happen? What do you expect to happen? I don't know why anyone would think that, oh, just because this is my husband, that another woman's vagina is not going to have any kind of effect on him. I don't know why you would think that. I mean, have you ever had sex with a person one time and that was it? You didn't go back for seconds at least? I mean, back in the day, I'm not talking about now. None of y'all are fornicating now. Anybody that you sleeping with is your husband or wife, and you ain't got no other choice. So, but back in your day, okay, it was just me. Okay. Mm-hmm. And that's just it on that. Like, I don't feel like I need to explain why you shouldn't have other people in your bed. Oh, here comes my husband chiming in plenty of one-nighter. Sorry, you was living a different life, okay? You was living a different life. I pray all the time for the Most High to make me whole. I want to come to my marriage whole, and I want my husband to also be whole fast. Especially your husband, because how can he leave you if he ain't got his stuff together? Man, let's keep it 100. Tiana Taylor gay. I'm almost sure she initiated the threesome. They said that she did. That's what I heard, that she did, and that she's dating a woman now, whatever the case may be. So I don't know. But also, it wasn't a secret that he was like, I guess you could say that marriage was open because he was dealing with women also. So maybe their marriage was open and it's just over now. I don't know. I don't know. Like, if I love you, we ain't having no amicable. I'm telling y'all right now, God forbid Monologue McGad ever try to leave me, honey. It's going to be messy, okay? It's going to be fire in the city. Ain't going to be no amicable nothing. I'm not getting on Instagram and, oh, everything's cool. No, this nigga's breaking my heart and I'm sad. Like, no, I can't. It just make me wonder when they're so calm, like, was you ever really in love? Because I know how I get. So, She was liking the vajay too much herself. When Tiana first came on the scene, she was known as bi. All of them are, really. I mean, that's what I heard from other people. Who you think you're talking to? Seriously. That's what you heard from other people. Okay. If you say so. I was trying to find my sound effect for that foolishness. That's what you heard from other people, but okay. Shalom and shalom, Angelina. Thank you for joining me, sis. Where's my... There we go. That's what he heard from other people. I told y'all the same thing. You better be ready for. Listen, hurricane, earthquake, wildfire, natural disaster. I'm burning it down, okay? He better not ever try to leave me. Ain't nothing gonna be amicable. Y'all gonna see Ray Ray come out, okay? Forget Ain't no Miss Mono. It ain't gonna be Ray Shanette. Ray Ray is coming out, honey. Okay? Ray Ray is going to be here. Okay, listen. And my sister's got my back. Mink. She gonna get it all. I'm telling you. But we ain't even gonna talk about that. And I beat no new woman down about my sister. That's right. Don't come over here with it. Don't come over here with it. Why y'all gotta burn everything down? Cause I gave you my everything. And you don't want to be my everything no more. Ain't nobody getting nothing. That's why I gotta burn everything down. Okay? All the blood, sweat, and tears I done put up in this situation. So I'm saying that to say, just in this situation, y'all, a marriage ending is sad, period. Regardless, a marriage and a family ending is kind of like, you got to have a little awe. Like, no matter how much you felt about how bad, or, you know, if you didn't like the couple or whatever, it's still a little bit of awe. Even though we all sat back and knew that this wasn't going, we knew it wasn't going to last. We knew it wasn't going to last because she had already told us how she feels about black men for real. So we knew it wasn't going to last, okay? So, R.I.P. to Trapper Time. Y'all, I'm going to take a moment before we get to this next story. Hold on, let me get a sip because this next one, y'all. Look, you know what? Let's do a little commercial. Let's talk about some other stuff because I might cry on this one, okay? Listen, if you like what I'm talking about here, you like what we got going on at the House of Mono, please feel free to head over to the Cash App $, the House of Mono. Thank you in advance for your donations. Please like, share, subscribe from wherever you are. YouTube, Facebook, TikTok. Feel free to follow me at Miss Mono's World for more content on Bible-based womanhood. The children get the raw deal, sadly. They do. I mean, she's only one, but I feel bad for any kid that has to grow up with only one parent or without both their parents at the same time. Because it does make a difference. Like, I'm sorry, I've been a single mom, and now I'm a married mom, a happily married mom. Huge difference. Huge difference. I don't feel bad for Jeannie Meyer, whatever her name is. I don't feel bad for her either. But I will say, I know how it feels to have an attitude, a bad attitude. I know how it feels to have a bad attitude and to have people walk away from you even when you want help. You know, I tried dating before my husband, but he was the only one that was able to get through to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was the only one that was able to, like, correct me in a way that I heard. He was the only one that was able to grab my attention to where I thought about leaving him in the beginning. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a runner. Okay, that is my natural response to any kind of stress, disagreement, anything. You don't like what I'm saying, or you don't want to do what I'm doing, fine, I'll go somewhere by myself and do it too. Okay, so I'm a runner. So when we first got married, and, you know, it was rough going in, but yes, that was my thought a few times. Like, I could just leave. I could just run. But the difference was, if I left, it would definitely have been my fault. And what I didn't want, y'all see them old men that messed up with their wife, they cheated on her or whatever, and they could be married to somebody else, but they always talk about how she was the one that got away, and they regret that, and if they could go back, they would do her right and all that stuff. I did not want to be that person. I didn't want to be walking around talking about, oh, if I wouldn't have let him get away and all this other stuff. And it would have been totally on me if I would have left. Because he wasn't doing nothing wrong. See, in the past, it's easy to leave because them niggas wasn't about nothing. All right, well, but I don't have to do better because you're not doing better. You understand what I'm saying? I don't have to step up because you're not stepping up. I can play games because you're playing games. But when you have a man that's not playing games no more, that's serious about the Most High and serious about you and his life, you either going to put on your big girl panties or you're going to exit the building. One or the other. And he not going to put up with too much of your mess either. I do too. That's one of the many reasons I'm single. Yeah, you know what though? I always figure a disagreement was the end. Like, we get in an argument, okay, it's over or it's about to be over. I thought about breaking up with you and you thought about breaking up with me. That's my thought process. And I'm going to tell y'all something. Like, I've been with my husband for 9 years. This is the longest relationship I've ever been in. Period. Matter of fact, when we made it to 2 years, it was the longest relationship that I had ever been in, marriages and all. That's how much of a runner I am, okay? That's how much I quick chuck up the deuces. Not saying that those relationships were sustainable. That's not what I'm saying at all. They were not sustainable. So, me running in that instance wasn't a bad thing. But definitely, like, if I had not dealt with that before I married my husband, before I started dating my husband, then that definitely would have been my loss. I would definitely be sitting up here with the mope face. There would be another woman on here being Miss Mono, and I would be sitting at home feeling stupid, probably bitter and angry because damn, that could have been me if only I would have got myself together. You know what I'm saying? I never wanted to be that. So thank God. All praises to the Most High. That he was able to deal with my mind and I was able to get my mind right so that I could love the man who loves me. I think any real man can fix them attitudes, but it takes a whole healed man who had examples growing up. It definitely does. Jeezy might be a great trapper, but don't know how to lead a woman and build him up. He got some money though. Yeah, well, and what he's gonna do with his money now? Nothing. Divine Lee, shalom and shalom. Thank you for joining me. I'll stay. My last relationship, the dude broke up with me. I did too much though. So looking back now, I don't blame him. We were together almost 3 years. And that is the first step to a successful future relationship, admitting where you were the problem. So good for you, sis. All right. So, this last situation, I'm so sad to talk about, you guys. Okay? Because there aren't too many, if any, examples of healthy, successful Black marriages, right? I mean, y'all can't even look at Beyonce and Jay-Z anymore because Becky with the good hair and blah, 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 blah. But you had a couple, right? And it's hard to talk about this, and I'm gonna tell you why it's hard to talk about. It's hard to talk about it because I love Remy Ma. Like, I love Remy Ma. I do. I felt like she's a decent example for Black women. Yes, she went to jail for shooting somebody. I'm not talking about that part. But since she came out, I remember she was on Love and Hip Hop, her and Papoose, and they really were on there like power coupling. Okay? So I think that's when we fell in love with them as a couple for real. That's when you found out about him holding her down in jail for like 6 years. He was taking care of the kids. He was raising the family. Like, he was doing what a man is supposed to do. Okay? Going to jail. I saw a video this week. He was going to jail to see her every day for like a year. And I can't make them kind of promises. I'm going to tell you that right now. Every day? Okay, so there was no doubt of his loyalty. There was no right, yes, they was the hip hop Cliff and Claire Huxtable. They were. And so if you follow Remy Ma into battle rap, now she has her battle rap league Chrome 23, which I love. Okay, I'm a fan. But so here we are today, and she's cheated on Papoose with a rapper in her battle league, Easy to Block Captain. And there are so many issues to deal with here. But let's deal with the first prominent one. The fact that so many black women complain about not being able to find a good man, can't get a man, can't keep a man, nothing like that. Oh, excuse me, allegedly. I have to say allegedly. Excuse me. Yes, sir. See, that's what I'm talking about. Good man. Always got my back. Allegedly, she's cheating on Papoose with Easy to Block Captain. Now, mind you, Papoose is the head of hip hop at TuneCore. Head of hip hop at TuneCore. Now, I don't know how much Easy to Block Captain is making, but I'm pretty sure he not making head of hip hop at TuneCore money. But I digress. Okay. Allegedly. Yes, Papoose held her down in jail. Absolutely. After she shot a woman. Supposedly this girl had took $1,000 from her, shot the lady, ended up in jail for 6 years. And so fast forward to today, all right, when you have so many black women complaining about not being able to find a good black man, not being able to keep a good black man. Here you have a black man. Mind you, they were not married when she went to jail. They were only dating. And I'm going to tell you, speaking from me, nah, pimp, I'm not a prison wife. I'm not the wait in jail type. I already told my husband, and this is my husband, okay? I already told my husband, now you get locked up providing or protecting for our family, then absolutely I'm there, I'm phone calling, I'm visiting, I'm in court, I'm whatever. But now you go get knocked over some foolishness? Brother, I'll see you later. I'll see you later. Soon as they lock them cuffs up and give you that sentence, all right then. Listen, I'm honest about me, and I know me, and I know I require a lot of attention. And you can't give me attention from jail. So I just know it's not gonna work, okay? So, but anyway, this man was there for her. He was there visiting her and everything else. All right. Did he say that's sin? What sin? Tell me what I said there was a sin. So now, you know, they out, and she's been out for a while now. I think they said that they've been together for 15 years. So she was in jail for 6 years, okay? And so now she's, I don't want to say back on top, but she is, like, she's doing good. She got Chrome 23 going. She still do her music or whatever. I don't know if she's going to be back on Love and Hip Hop New York. Matter of fact, I just watched a Lifetime movie this morning. Remy Ma was in a Lifetime movie. Okay, so she going out there doing her thing. And so the alleged adultery of it all. Okay? I have to say alleged adultery of it all. And then for it to be done in such a public manner. It is one thing for you to be out here, you know, acting crazy or whatever, but you are bringing embarrassment to this man's name. And here's what's so bad about it. He held her down for 6 years in jail. To me, you deserve my lifelong loyalty just for that. He married her in prison. And now, let me just speak to the other side of that and say that I would never suggest that any woman ever do this. We've seen this play out with us before. You marry him in jail, and as soon as he get out of jail, he on to somebody else. So Again, sisters and cousins, I would never, if you are, listen. And I know hip hop got us thinking, oh, you got to be a ride or die. You got to stay down. You got to keep it real. Man, no, wrong one. That's the one I meant. Bump all that. No, I'm not. No. I don't understand you staying in prison with someone who you are just dating. If it did not have anything to do with protecting or providing for you or your children, I don't get it. I do not get it. Because you have to understand that, like, being in prison does something to a person's mind. Not only that, just being away from things and then being re-released does something to a person's mind. You know how people act. Think about when you go on a diet, right? Think about when, say you on a sugar diet, right? You cutting out all the sugar. And if you've ever done this, you know how hard it can be. Like, you be going through withdrawals, you be having headaches, your emotions be up and down. But once you're out of that withdrawal stage, you're cool. Like, you're cool. You're not even thinking about no sugar. And then one day, one wild day, you just happen to be at a party or something, sip a soda, eat a cake, and now you just can't stop craving sugar. You just want sugar all the time. Ma'am, sis, cousin, it's the same exact way when these men are taken away from sex. And I'm going to be honest with y'all, little sidebar. If a man has been in prison for like more than a year or two, I'm not so sure he's been going without sex, if you know what I'm saying. Okay, but anyway, I digress. Let me read these comments. Leaving me with these children to raise alone for the foolery. Hello, that's what I'm saying. You absolutely will not. Only for fornication can a couple part, point blank. Okay, we ain't got a part, but I'm not prison wife. I ain't coming up there. I'll see you when you get out. Okay, I'll be stacking your money for you when you get out. That's the only promise I can make. The one with Tammy Roman, the movie was good but sad. Yeah. It was good, but it was sad, right? I'll never cheat, no matter how bad you get on my nerves. No. Cheating, see, as a woman, to give myself to another man, that takes a lot. That you gotta go through some extremes. Okay. And I can understand this. Me and my husband have had this conversation many times. Even before coming into the truth. And he was always very adamant about, like, look, you can do just about anything. But what you can't do is be even talking to another man about being with him. Okay, it is totally different for a woman to think about the physical process. You have to lay down. Whether you're laying on your back, whether you're laying on, you have to unclothe and submit yourself for this man to enter you. Okay, so I can't see laying down with someone, especially at the risk of someone else, and thinking like nothing of it. I can't, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's always been a big deal. Been undied several times, right? Next thing you know, one of the CEOs pregnant. Exactly. Okay, so and so now here's the thing, right? Because they are on a public forum, a public platform, and so these rumors have been going on for a while, right? And when the rumors first surfaced, when it was first was it a month? Was it in August or something like that? It was just this past summer. There was a battle. There was a Chrome 23 battle between two female rappers. A fight broke out between the two female rappers and their crews. A fight broke out, and then that's when allegedly there was a fight between Papoose and Easy the Block Captain. And when that happened, the thing was, oh, they're just trying to get publicity for Chrome 23. That's all. It's just a publicity stunt. So, okay, cool. It's fine. But now this stuff is resurfacing. And it's not just resurfacing, it's resurfacing with witnesses. Oh, it was 6 months ago. Okay, thanks, boo. It's resurfacing with witnesses, okay? There's a clip out, and I meant to show it to y'all. I'm sorry. But there's a clip of a battle rap with Easy the Block Captain and Geechee Gotti. And Geechee Gotti is basically laying out the whole situation, talking about how Easy was running around telling everybody that him and Rim were allegedly having an affair, and how she's embarrassing her man, calling her all kind of bitches and stuff like that, which I'm not going to say she don't deserve it. So it's pretty much aired out now. And there's been other stuff coming out. My husband sent me a clip today of Easy was doing an interview in the car, and you hear a voice that definitely sounds like Remy in the background. And so this is how good men get turned into dogs. Okay? Because even if it was over, like, even if Remy was feeling like, no, we do not condone divorce here at the House of Mono. So let me just say this. But these people don't live up to our standards, okay? Obviously. So even if she felt like she wanted to explore something with dude or whatever, the decent thing to do is to end your relationship. That's the least that she owed this man. And see, here's what I'm saying. Like, where's the loyalty? Does loyalty count for nothing these days? Does time put in, does memories, does his loyalty mean anything? And so here's the problem with the rise of Black feminism and the rise of the independent, and I'm not going to say the rise of, because it's been around for a while, but this independent Black woman syndrome, this I can do anything the men could do syndrome. Because now she is allegedly straight up running around with this man. She's just running around with him. When they asked her about it, she didn't say no. They asked her in reference to what Geechee Gotti was saying during their battle. She never said, no, I'm not messing with him. She was just commenting on the things that he was saying, that Geechee was saying about her. But she never said, no, me and Easy never had an affair. No, I love my husband. She never said any of that. And again, I'm not saying that this could not in some weird way be like a publicity stunt for the Battle Rap League. Sure, it could. I don't know. I just don't take them as, I don't take Papoose to be the kind of man to play about this. I'm going to tell you something. Despite the alleged affair, like, that is a stand-up dude. That any man that's going to wait 6 years for you. And I'm not saying he was perfect during them 6 years. We don't know. He might have been getting some cut up on the side, but he was there for you. You understand what I'm saying? Any man that's going to do that deserves more respect. He don't deserve to be embarrassed like this in public. Although, like, I'm pretty sure he's having no problem replacing her right now. He's having no problem replacing her. You know how many women been waiting for a man like that? I'm sure I'm not saying he's not gonna be heartbroken. I'm sure he is, but he'll be comforted, I'm sure. He will be comforted, I'm sure. Let's get to the comments. Hold on a second. Hold on. Where were we? Hitman Holla versus Easy. I thought it was 40 bars versus Yoshi G. The video I saw today said it was a 40 bars and Yoshi G battle. I don't know. You know more than I do. Nah, not with Papoose. He don't even be with the foolishness. If Pat popped up, then he felt disrespect. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, he's never, even when they were on Love and Hip Hop, like, he never gave rowdy, wild, he never gave someone who's just gonna do something like that with some kind of abandon. You know what I mean? I'm upset. I want to be, she beat Brittany Taylor. I'm disgusted. For a lot of women are disgusted. I'm disgusted. I am disgusted. If any man will allow this for a publicity stunt, he's definitely getting cheated on. That's true. They not going to get the same man she did. And they're not. And see, okay. So, and here's the problem, right? She done damaged this man and sent him back out into the wild. And so now, what is he gonna go through? And I don't pretend to know because I'm not a man, of course. But I want us as women to stop and think about how we are treating the men in our life. And let's be honest, sometimes every relationship that was bad wasn't just their fault. Okay? Even to the point of why you stayed in the situation if you felt like it was so messed up. You know what I'm saying? It's not always their fault. Okay? And we have to let's look at this. And we have to be able to empathize. I talk to y'all often about how I had to learn that it's okay for my husband to have emotions. Having feelings and emotions is different from being led by your feelings and emotions. Okay? So men have feelings just like we do, especially y'all when they are vulnerable with us, when they let their guard down, when they love us out loud and in public. There was never no hiding. Papoose never tried to play her to the left. He never tried to deny her or anything like that. And I know what you might be saying. Well, she was the front runner in the relationship. True, she was. But every time you saw her, you saw him. He was right there. And me and my husband have talked about this. And I can't totally say that I disagree with him, okay? Because if my husband wasn't who he was and he didn't have the masculinity that he does, that natural leadership ability, then I would not be with him, right? I know what I need in a man, and I couldn't be with no man that was going to let me push him around. Like, that just wasn't going to work for me. And so if he wasn't who he is, then I can say that I wouldn't be with him. Absolutely. But I knew this going into it. And even though I'd never been to prison. Okay. So I'm not going to sit here and judge Remy and say, oh, you knew this wasn't the kind of dude you wanted to be with. You should have never, blah, blah, blah. Because again, I've never been to prison. I don't know that loneliness. But if somebody coming to visit me every day, yeah, I'm probably going to marry him too. So, but not being in prison and sitting on this side of things, if you know that this is not really somebody I want to be with, like it would never work in reality, then you should not continue to take advantage of the relationship. You understand what I'm saying? Just like regular. Like when you know it's not going to work with a dude, then stop messing with him. Don't keep, and stop acting like we don't know. Y'all know. And a lot of times what we try to do is we'll try to take a good man, even when we're not attracted to him, we try to make that work. And here's what I'm going to say. To a certain degree, yes. Like if it's just some internal personality issues, then it's just not going to work, buddy. Okay? But when y'all get to talking about superficial stuff, like needing to lose weight and maybe needing to get his swag up a little bit, maybe needing some new clothes, you know what I'm saying? Little touch up on the fade, whatever. Stuff that you can fix easily, that's not worth throwing a relationship away for. Okay? But if you know that, like, and I hate to say this, but if you know you're too assertive for this man, then you need to let him go on about your business. But the reason some of y'all won't let them go on about their business is because you feel like, oh, I got a sucker. He gonna do anything I say. I'm gonna ride this till the wheels fall off, and then I'll throw him back into the ocean for whoever to deal with him. And let me just say that I've never been the sugar baby type. I can't, look, if I don't like you, I don't like you. I don't care how much money you spend it. I can't hide it. Like my face is going to show my disgust. As soon as you go to touch me, it's going to be like, ugh. So even in my past life, I've never been one to fake it. Like I just can't. So I don't understand. I'm not going to say she was faking it. But I am going to say that a woman doesn't cheat out of nowhere. Right? That takes time. You got to build up to that. We done talked. We done went, I hope we done went out and kicked it. And there have been things. We've had memories. We have experiences together. You've talked to me. I've talked to you. You made me laugh. And you know what they say. If you can make her laugh, you can get her. So, all right, let's go to these comments. Same car. Oh, okay. It was the same car. Okay. Oh, that's right. It was. I just watched it in 3 different. I just watched it. We didn't watch the whole thing together. All I know is I love my husband and I love breathing. I never do that to him, especially when he's so great to me. I honor the Most High and my husband for that. Exactly, right? Like, and then where's your fear of the Most High? Where is your fear of the Most High? But again, these people are not, professing to be practicing Israelites, so we don't hold them up to our standards. But for the purpose of our conversation here with my sisters and cousins, where's your fear of the Most High? Are you not? Pap was her manager also. Yes, he was her. Yeah, he was everything to her. Nah, she really could have let him go while she was in prison. That's how I feel too. I feel she should have never married him. She should not have married him. Like, she knew how she felt about him then. She knew she was looking at him like he was a sucker back then. And I have no qualms about saying it because I know how those type of girls think. And yes, I'm calling her those type of girls based on her behavior. Would I have said this a month or 2 ago? Absolutely not. I would have been like, Remy Ma is an upstanding Black woman. She's an example of a wife and a mother to us all. She out here handling her business. Her and her husband work together. Like, they are a beautiful example of Black love. That's what I would have said a month ago. But now what I'm going to say is, it was all a dream. It was all a dream. anybody, I'm sorry. I just, anybody that goes through that with you, they deserve more respect than to be embarrassed like this in public. They deserve more respect than to have people who they don't even know rapping about their wife and their personal business. He deserves more respect than that. And this is, I say this, and I've said this to older women, because whenever I talk to older women and I tell them like, no, I trust my husband, they always give me that look like, what you mean? So I have to clarify. Do I think my husband's perfect? No. If the right woman come along, could she get him to pull his pants down? I'm sure. Right time, right place, right moment. I'm not saying it can't happen. But I trust my husband to respect me and not hurt my feelings. Okay? We sat down before we got married and I made it very clear to him, what's not my business, it's not my business. As long as it does not disturb my pretty pink bubble, okay, where we poop rainbows and spit out butterflies, then I can't care about something that I don't know. I just can't. But now once you bring it to me, or once my pretty pink bubble is burst, this heifer done picked up the phone, somebody done DM me, like once it's got that far, okay, now we have an actual problem. Okay, so now I don't trust I'm not saying my husband is perfect, he'll never, but I trust him to protect me. Okay, and so, I'm gonna say from my personal experience, when you dealing in the streets like that, that's kind of the unspoken rule, right? Like, okay, I know you're doing whatever out there, just keep it away from me. But when it gets to the point where they don't even care to keep it away from you anymore, it's over. I feel like at that point, it's irretrievably broken. You don't even care enough to lie to me, my dude. You don't even care enough to try to hide it. And that's cool when I'm not the main chick. You know what I'm saying? When there's an understanding, when we have this perfectly clear, I'm seeing other people, you seeing other people, whatever. We understand that this is not that. Then by all means, do you. But why are we married if you still, for what? I from a business sense, I get it. From a business sense. From the sense of, okay, it's me and you legally on paper. So we're one on paper. Everything we do together is on paper. Like, you know what I'm saying? You've been with this man for a while and he decided that, okay, he gonna marry you because he want to leave you everything should something happen to him. Cool. If it's one of those situations, then by all means have at it. But why get married in the name of love? And see, we spend so much time focusing on what the men are doing wrong, We never stop to think that, ladies, we are capable of these very same violations. And it's even more devastating when we do it because, again, listen, the right moment, okay? At the right moment, my husband could be capable of an indiscretion. Absolutely. I would never sit here and be like, oh, my husband would never. I'm not going to do that. At the right moment, with enough atmosphere and alcohol, and maybe me and him just is off and whatever. Sure, I could see him letting a girl, whatever. But for a woman, for me to allow someone into my inner sanctum, My husband knows me enough to know that this wasn't just no fluke. He knows me enough to know that there have been conversations. I have planned this, thought about this, dreamt about this, written out the pros and cons, talked myself. Like, there's a lot more that goes into it when a woman has an affair, or at least there should be. If there's not, then man, maybe you're just a whore and you got some other issues that you need to deal with. Because it should never be that easy. And it definitely shouldn't be that easy if you got a man. Okay? I mean, at least for his sake, I was going to say make the other dude try, but there shouldn't be no other dudes. That's the point. It shouldn't be no other dudes. And we just got so used to talking about men cheating, that we forget that women cheat too. But like I said, when we cheat, it's more because it's a relationship, okay? Something else I talked to my husband about. Listen, it's one thing to pop a chick on the side. It's one thing to let a chick give you some head. That is one thing. It is a total other thing for you to be carrying on a relationship. Okay, you carrying on with her, y'all spending time together, going out, you coming out your pockets, you telling her you love her, you gonna leave me, and y'all got a whole relationship going on over there. Now that is another level of something else, okay? And more than likely, when a woman steps out on her man, it's a whole other relationship over there. And so that's what makes it so much harder. For me, I would say that. From my point of view. Again, I'm not a man. I don't know how y'all feel. But that is one of the things that makes it so much more devastating. And I don't know about y'all, but I know how my man feel about me. And I would assume from the behavior and everything else that Papoose felt the same way about Remy. But my man makes me feel very precious. Like, he makes me feel like I'm too good to do anything. This man had me feeling like I'm too good to go to the grocery store sometimes. Because no, it's okay, babe. I got it. Don't worry about it. I'll handle it. I don't have a reason to think that he wasn't treating her with that same gentleness. Because when a woman is being treated gently, it's going to exude in her attitude. Me and my husband have been married for like 4 or 5 years. And like my aunts and uncles and cousins that came down from Jersey to visit, and everybody just kept complimenting him on how calm I was now. And they kept saying, like, I don't know what you did to her, but oh my gosh, this is not the same Ray Shanette. Like, she's so calm. She seems so much more at ease. So when you're being treated right, other people know. You glow different. You treat other people different. Okay, so I have no reason to think that okay, and see this, I was about to go here. Maybe she don't like gentle. That's maybe why she don't want him no more. That's the same thing my husband said. But so here, let's talk about this, right? Because sometimes we get so caught up on a persona. We get so caught up listening to these rappers, and unfortunately, with the absence of our fathers, these rappers have become the male role models for our community. We don't have no other ones. Who else do you see? You don't want to go out and be like the bums in the hood. So who do you have to look up to? The rappers, the drug dealers, and the athletes. And as far as the public persona, we have no reason to, as women, expect an emotionally mature and available man, because that is not what our men are saying out of their mouths. You understand what I'm saying? They're not offering emotionally mature and vulnerable and available. They're offering you one night and some. That's it. Okay. So I need y'all to stop and really think about this. If a man came to you and had the qualities that you wanted, he's keeping the law, faith in Yahushua, he's a provider, he's a protector, he's taking care of you and your kids. But like I said earlier, he just may not be that. It just might be something missing. You want him a little more rough, a little more thugged out or whatever. I need y'all to realize what's important when picking a man. We have got to get over this superficial need to satisfy everyone, to have a man that looks good for IG. Like, we got to get over that. And you need to think about this. When I close my doors, when I go home, is this man doing what he's supposed to do? Is he keeping me safe? Is my smile just as big off camera as it is on camera? When people are in your presence, what do they say about y'all as a couple? It is very comforting for me when people are around me and my husband and they always compliment on how we play off each other or how we're so funny together or how just how we interact. Like, people always seem to just love our interaction. And that's comforting for me. It kind of helps me know, like, okay, no, I'm not crazy. No, we really in love. Okay. So you need to think about that. Like, what do people say when they're around you? Is there conversation? Girl, he love you. Girl, he really like you. Or is it something else? Because if the conversation is, girl, he love you. Girl, he really like you. But you're still feeling like, well, I don't know. I want him a little more thugged out. I want him a little more aggressive. Then, ma'am, sis, cousin, I suggest that you go and spend some time alone and really get your thoughts together. Because that little bit of swagger, that little bit of aggression that you think that you're missing is a trick of the enemy. I'm going to tell you that. It's a trick of the enemy to get you to fumble that bag and let it back out into the wild. Okay? That's what I'm saying. She whack for that, though. That's why you communicate with your husband, not the next nigga. She's 43 years old, and that's 20-something-year-old behavior. 43. Listen, I'll be 43 this year, and I'm telling you right now, I'm too set in my ways. I'm too particular, and I'm too peculiar. Yahweh forbid something happen to my husband, and I have to be on this earth by myself. I don't know what I would do. I can't. I've been treated too good to deal with the bull crap. You can't come to me talking about you want me to help pay bills. Nigga, where? Where? You know the help that I lend to the bills at the House of Mono? I go to the website and I push the buttons and I make sure that the buttons get pushed straight. And that's all that I ever intend to do as long as I have a man. Like, you're not going to come to me offering me less than I've had. I've always felt like that a woman should always move up financially and men always move up physically. Think about it. I'm happy to tell you, I moved up financially throughout my dating life. I love my husband. He's not the first business owner that I dated. I was dating business owners. Okay? No. I'm not saying to accept no shorts. I'm not saying it to play yourself. I'm not saying to try to force yourself to love someone that you don't love or who does not love you more. I know I'm not supposed to say this, but I'm going to tell you right now, the only reason that Remy and Papoose stayed together as long as they did is because Papoose loved her more. The only reason that the House of Mono works like it works, my husband loves me more. And he has no problem telling you that. as his biblical responsibility as the man. He has to. Think about all that he has to do. Think about all he got to put up with. Because if I was me, I know I wouldn't put up with me, but I'm a woman. I'm a woman. So I can look at myself and be like, girl, you get on my nerves. Like, no, I wouldn't put up with you. Not today, not tomorrow, no. But my husband does. My husband does. The gotta get a roughneck crap don't apply when you got a good man. Exactly. Teach him bedroom stuff and keep it. Teach him the bedroom stuff and keep it moving. That is the greatest thing I've heard all day. Yes, don't do my brother. Y'all love each other the same. He a lot too. So I don't mean it in no kind of condescending way when I say this. I'm not saying like, oh, he kissed the ground I walk on unequivocally. No, we love each other the same, yes. But at first, when we first started dating, it was him who decided that he wanted to marry me. It wasn't me deciding, oh, I'm so in love with you, marry me. No, he decided, I love this woman. I want her to be my wife. And he did what he had to do to make that happen. That wasn't off the strength of me loving him. That was off the strength of him loving me. And where I was when we first started dating, I knew I was ready to get married, but I didn't know it was him. So I wasn't taking no shorts. Whatever. As soon as I see something I don't like, I'm out. I'm out. Delete, backspace, whatever, I'm out. Close the tab. I'm done. So I'm not saying it like, oh, he was sweating me and no, not like that at all. We were dating. He was very aware that I was interested. Like, no, we liked each other and everything like that. But when it came time to talk about love and marriage, that was on him. That was him that started that, him that pursued that. And I feel like that's the only way it's going to work. I have yet to see a relationship where the woman pursued the relationship that I would want to be in. And that's how I had to start making life decisions. Like, is this something that I would want? Is this a life that I would want to live? You know what I mean? So that's why I'm always telling y'all, like, nah, it's not your job to pursue nothing. Y'all are cute and think y'all can we do. Listen, I couldn't have asked for a better husband. I'm not gonna lie. Me and my husband are very honest with each other. You know what I'm saying? I know that he could have chose a different woman. He could have chosen a woman with less emotional baggage. He could have chosen a woman with less children. He could have chosen a woman who was making more money. He had options. I'm not saying that I didn't have options. That's not what I'm saying at all. I had options. I was seeing other people when we started dating. Okay. Matter of fact, I had somebody send me some flowers. It was after our first or second date. It was like a Friday after I had just saw him. We were just together. And then like a day or two later, I get these flowers at my job from the other guy that I was seeing. And yes, I posted it on Instagram. I sure did. Why wouldn't I? Of course I posted it on Instagram. I had to let him know what was going on. Okay, but here we are today. So I'm gonna just tell y'all something. Like, if you got a good man that's holding you down, stop looking for what you talking about? Oh, Miss Mono, what I do? Well, I try to be honest with y'all about everything, and I want y'all to make the best decisions. Don't end up like Remy and Papoose. Okay, don't end up like Remy. All right, no matter what. God forbid you do end up like, just, if we had to take a theme from today, I think it would be stop lying. Okay? Because to cheat on someone, you have to be lying. To have an affair, to carry on an affair, you're going to tell some lies. You, even in your emotional state, you're lying. Omission of the truth is a lie. If I asked you, was you talking to so-and-so and you tell me no, that's a lie. If I ask you, you messing around with so-and-so and you tell me no, it's a lie. If I say who you on the phone with, oh, nobody, and you know you was, it's a lie. Be honest and make it your goal in life to be painfully honest no matter what. Even if it's gonna hurt their feelings, even if, you're scared of how they're gonna respond. Tell the truth. I hate this chair, y'all, because it just be like sinking down and stuff, and then I have to pick myself back up. I don't know why I ain't switched it out. This ain't nothing new. Both of y'all had talked about on earlier shows. Yeah, and so that's why we try to talk to y'all about it so much. Because I know when I was dating and going through it, I hated for women to just be like, oh, when you love yourself, then the right man will come. Or, oh, when you're ready, the right man will come. Okay, but tell me what to do in the meantime. And tell me how I'm supposed to know. You know what I'm saying? So that's why we try to be very upfront with y'all about everything. And listen, as a wife, let me be 100% honest with you guys, okay? Is there temptation out there? Absolutely. Absolutely. I get friend requests a lot that I know you ain't up to no good. Why are you requesting me? You're a single man. You see me in this picture with my husband. Why are you requesting me? Okay? I've had people from my past try to friend request me. Nope, decline. I'm not even playing with you on social media. No. Temptation is out there. And temptation is real. Okay? Don't think that just because you're married, all of a sudden you or your husband's eyes shut off and y'all don't see people anymore and people aren't physically attractive and, oh, you can only see each other. Now, how do I explain this? Because I love my husband, right? My husband is so good to me. I don't care. There's nothing a nigga can say, nothing a nigga can do. There's nothing you're going to do to get my attention. None of that. I told y'all, when I go out, I usually got braids in my hair, a t-shirt, and some sweatpants on. I'm not trying to be attractive. I want to look decent. So, God forbid something happen, nobody mistake me for a bum or a homeless person. But I'm not trying to be attractive more than I naturally am. Let me just say that, okay? So it's not that it's not temptation out there. Yes, it is. Temptation is real, especially when you're married. Because guess what? Every day is not peaches and sunshine. Some days that nigga gonna get on your last nerve. Some days you're not gonna be able to stand the way he breathes, the way he snore, the way he chew. Some days everything is gonna get on your nerves. But even on those days, let me just say this. Me and my husband don't stop taking care of each other. We could have just had a knockdown, drag out fight. But I'm going to go in there and I'm going to cook dinner and I'm going to make sure his plate is waiting for him when he finished working. And I'm going to make sure the house is clean and he got matching socks. And I'm going to do everything I'm still supposed to do as he does. Just because we have a disagreement, he don't stop paying the bills. We don't stop talking to it. We don't do the silent treatment in our house, okay? We may not be chitter chatter, regular conversation. We may not be laughing and joking, but if I have a question, I know I can go to him. Or if you have a question, I know he's going to come to me. And we know that when we get to a point where we can't talk in person, like maybe if the conversation is too heated and we can't talk in person, I'm not running off to get on the phone with no other nigga. He not running off to get on the phone with another female. No, he's texting me. I'm texting him. We're texting each other, trying to make this work. And that's something I have to tell my husband so much. I appreciate him and his effort in trying to make it work. Because I'm not going to lie. I just told y'all I'm a runner. I don't know how to make things work. All I know is, pure, I'm gone. But he has taught me, and I have learned how to sit down and work things through and make them work. And so I have to thank the Most High. And I thank him for that a lot. And that makes it easy. That makes it easy to resist the temptation. When you, yes, sir. Yes, I know it's almost time. I'm wrapping up right now. I'm sorry. Y'all see my little timekeeper? Right? How you know it's time? Who told you it was time? Dante. Oh, Dante told you? Oh, okay. Bonus brother on the job. A little timekeeper here. So when both of you are committed to your marriage and you're both committed to trying to make it work, it makes the temptation easier to avoid. At least for me as a woman. I can't speak for my husband as a man, but I can speak for me as a woman, because if there's no conversation, it's not going no further. Like, I'm not going to bump into some dude and let him, have his way with me. That's just not going to happen. Like I said, whereas it could happen, easier with a male. So let me just tell y'all, my sisters and cousins, please treat your man right. Okay. If you got a good man, he coming home every night. He's loving on you. He's loving on your children. He has a heart for the Most High. He's trying. And he may not, listen, ain't none of them perfect. None of them are 100% perfect. None of us are 100% perfect. We have our, ow, why don't you scratch me like that? We have our baggage and stuff. I don't know what's going on. Are you sleepy? Did they wake you up? They woke you up? You didn't have to wake up. You could have stayed asleep. Okay. We have our baggage and stuff, but listen, as long as you both are willing to make it work and you keep the Most High as the center of your marriage, then resist the devil and he will flee. Because it's temptation, but it's fleeting. Please. Like, it's not a challenge. There's a difference between temptation and a challenge. Okay. It's not a challenge. Never a challenge. Yes, baby. Okay, so look, everybody's saying shalom to you guys. Say shalom back.
Shalom.
Say shalom and shalom. You got to stand up so everybody can see you. They can't see you, Paxton.
Shalom, shalom.
Sorry, y'all, Paxton is like me, okay? When he is asleep, that's it. He don't got nothing for nobody, so please excuse him. Did you want to say anything, guys?
Shalom and shalom, sisters and cousins.
You all want to tell everybody about boxing? Do you have fun at boxing?
Yes. Ma'am.
You like boxing?
Little.
You got to stand up. They can't even see you. See? All we can see is your little head right there. There you go. What's your favorite part of boxing class?
Going outside.
Hmm?
Going outside.
You don't have a favorite part? You just like boxing?
Going outside.
You're getting better, too. They've been taking boxing for it's almost been a month now. And Paxton here, he has form and everything. Like, I'm really impressed with him. He pivots. He throws his jabs and his hooks. He's really, really getting good at it. Atticus would be better if he would stop playing so much in boxing class, right? Isn't that what your coach said? You would be better if you would stop playing so much?
Mom, I stopped playing yesterday.
You stopped playing yesterday? Oh, well, good. So listen, if you are like in the metro area, we go to Knuckle Up Fitness for our boxing classes. If you want to bring the kiddies, if you want to bring the kiddies, shalom to the babies. They're going to be beating these people up. I just want them to be able to protect themselves, honestly. And boy, don't tell me to shush. It's my show. And since we homeschool, I wanted them to get some kind of like, I hate to call it PE, but that's really kind of their PE class. I mean, they work out with me, but it's not the same. It has to be directed for them. So they enjoy their boxing class a lot, right? No. You just said you do. Y'all, please excuse him.
I was kidding.
He don't know what he's talking about. He's not making no sense. So, thank y'all for joining me this evening. Ooh, how did that happen?
Boxing, I fell.
You fell at boxing when y'all was outside the other day?
Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining me this evening. If you like something I said or you would just like to help with what's going on here at the House of Mono, you can head over to the Cash App, $ the House of Mono. Thank you for joining me on the TikTok. Thank you for participating in the conversation. Listen, y'all, I love going live because I like interacting with y'all. So I love when you guys are participating in the conversation and interacting with me. It makes me feel so special. I appreciate your time because I know, you could have been doing a lot of things, but you've been here with me and I appreciate that. I want to encourage you, if you have not already, to please download the Messiah TV app. It is available on your Roku, on your Apple TV, on your Fire Sticks. If you're like online and you can't get to the app, you can enjoy it on your laptop at Messiah.tv. Yes. Fabulous. You can enjoy it on your lap at Messiah.tv. Do not forget to follow Spirit Filled Israel on all of your social media platforms. I cannot leave out the most sexiest, hardworking, most providingest, handsomest, lovingest husband in all of Israel. I don't care what y'all say. Monologue Magad, ladies and gentlemen. Don't forget to stream the new album, Let the OG Talk. It's available on all your music streaming services, Apple, Tidal, all that good stuff. I am at Miss Amano's World. You can follow me for Bible-based womanhood content. I am on YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, all that good stuff. What else? What was you about to say, Pookie?
I can turn my eyes.
You can what?
I can turn my eyes.
Thank you, McCall. Thank you so much. All right, anything before we go, guys? All right, listen, hopefully we'll be back. Me and Monologue will be back tomorrow for Sabbath Night Live. He is out there working. So. Okay, go ahead. What you got to say? That's what you wanted to say. Okay, and those are last words from Atticus, everyone. Atticus, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to try to put up more homeschooling content. It'll be in the morning. And not forget to set up our tripod. But a lot of people have been asking me about that, so I'm going to start doing more homeschool content so y'all can see what that's like in real time. I think that's it for tonight. Thank you for joining me. If you have topics or anything that you want me to discuss, please bring a clip. If you happen to make a clip of tonight's show, please tag me. I will repost them. I love clips. Yes.
One time for the men doing cane things.
She says shalom, guys.
3 times for my folk that came up.
Okay, guys, we love you so much.
One time for the men doing cane things.
Listen, go to Monologue. Go to Monologue's Facebook, find a post and leave a comment. Tell him to do Saturday Night Live or IG or something. Leave a comment. Tell that man to do Saturday Night Live. I want to do it too. All right, we love you so much. Shalom and shalom. Good night.
If it ain't for you, ain't for you then. If you a lame or a sucker, wanna dress you then.
Good night, you guys.
Bump the childish ways. Got a wife and a bunch of kids to raise. Punch a clock side hustle or a business you endure to ensure that all the bills is paid. Slow clap for your homeboy. Could've turned out like your homeboy. Been on the same block, cooking up the same rock on the cell block lot with your homeboy. But no, you had vision, you had gold. Brand new you on the old time road. Take care of home where you bust your low black.